Let's go back to the basics. Come budget with me for the month of July. I'll share with you guys how the month is going to look like for me a little bit later. But the reason why I want to talk about my expenses, if you've noticed the Money Diary series, for the past 6 months to a year, I've only been covering my income and my investments, and that was the main focus. I've neglected my expenses, obviously, by not budgeting, also not reviewing as often as I used to. But anyway, thankfully, I have not inflated my expenses tremendously by spending beyond my means. I've always tried to just focus on the savings rate every single time I come into my Notion finance tracker. So for the next 6 months, Money Diaries, I will be focusing on my expenses, and I just want to bring you guys along with me because the money mindsets that I use to manage my expenses is what brought me to where I am today. So the month of July, I will not be in Singapore for the entire month. I'm actually heading back to Jeju. And the reason for going back is to visit the auntie and uncle. I've stayed in their Airbnb in 2022, and ever since then, they really feel like my godparents. Every single year, I've been staying at their properties since. The last time I visited them was earlier this year during Chinese New Year with my brother and my sister-in-law, but the auntie wasn't there at that point of time. This time around when I'm going back is for a few days. I just want to spend some time with them. Prior to staying with them, I'm actually renting a place for a good 12 nights on my own to focus on some work which I want to launch in Q4. I'll share with you guys a little bit more in the coming months as well, but that is just something I'm working on. My environment here in Singapore is just not as conducive. The reason why you only see me upload once a week when I'm back here is because I can only film on a Sundays. Every time on a weekday, there are just some renovation noise going on, construction. It also means that I'm getting new neighbors every other month. Anyway, all that aside, let's budget for the month of July. So I'm spending half the month in Jeju, another half in Singapore. So let's go into my Notion finance tracker. Alright, so what you see on screen right now is my Notion finance tracker. If you eventually want to use the same one that I do, link to it will be down in the description box below. I'm not going to focus on accounts. This is where it keeps track of the live balances of whatever accounts that I have. And when I go into the net worth page, I'll be able to tell what my current net worth is as of today. But that's not the focus for today's video. Let's scroll down a bit more and you'll see this table called expense budget for the month. Ignore the first line for business category. I'm not going to be budgeting for this, but eventually when we go through the actual expenses, I will break it down for you guys. For fixed expenses, every other month it has stayed about the same at $560. And if you look on the right side of the page, I have this table that keeps tracks of every single recurring subscriptions that I have. This is for convenience, so that end of the year in the month of December, I will usually reevaluate whatever recurring subscriptions I have to tell myself if this is something I'm not using anymore, terminate it and I'll save me some money. So going through it one by one, I have Netflix, Spotify, Instagram verification, which is that blue tick that you see on my account, so you know that it's me and not anybody else. YouTube Premium is something that I've recently subscribed to. I can't stand the ads anymore that runs anywhere between 30 seconds to a minute and a half, even though I'm a creator myself, but I just want to save myself some time. So that's why I subscribe to YouTube Premium. iCloud is 200 gigs, that's $4. My mobile phone bill plan cost me $12. iPad data, $3.97, my mom's allowance, and my mom's phone bill, which I'm paying for as well. And all of that adds up to $560.14. Next up, we have personal care. I want to buy some face masks back to Singapore from Korea. So I'm budgeting $200 for this category. And it's going to be for me, my mom, and my sister. So health and fitness is the next category, which I'm starting to spend a little bit more money on. I'm paying for my Pilates package. Each session that I go for, it's $95. And if you take a look at my calendar, I've actually booked myself 1, 2, 3 sessions for the month of July already. Before my trip and after my trip is 95 times 3, which is $285. If you notice, my meals category is split according to who I spend it with. So this is done intentionally. If let's say I budget $150 for my meals out with family this month, and I come into my tracker and I realize I've only spent $50, I will intentionally make plans with my family to have a meal with them and spend time. So this is intentionally done this way. Meals with friends, let's leave it as $50, which is what I've always done for the past few months. Meals in general is when I'm on my own. It's going to be higher because I'll be living in Jeju. Let's just put this as $200. For me time, I'm going to be allocating $50. I do want to take a book out to a cafe in Jeju to read and spend some time alone. I don't usually budget for this whenever I'm here in Singapore. I just don't bring myself out as often. Maybe because the weather is just really too hot and I enjoy being at home. For groceries, let's put it as $150 because I do need to get groceries when I'm there. Car and taxi, $50. I'll be renting a car in Jeju, but the expense will not come under this category. Eventually, I'll share in July how I budgeted for that. But taxi rides to and fro to airports or whenever I'm here in Singapore, let's just put it as $50. Public transportation for when I'm here, I usually don't spend much, so let's just put it as $20. Shopping. I'm telling myself that I do not want to spend anything in this category, but if I'm in Jeju and I do see something that I like, I would want to buy it. So let's just put it as $100 and see how it turns out next month. Gifts. I'm buying some stuff to bring over to the auntie and uncle, so let's just put it as $200. Travel, not in this category. Insurance. Okay, insurance is a bucket that I'm saving for when my annual premiums is due next year. It's my sinking fund. So if you go back to the fixed expense table and I filter for insurance and billing is yearly, you'll be able to see that I'm spending $5,719.50 for my insurance, all my insurance plans. So for this category, I'm going to be spending $477 spending. It's going to be allocated to my sinking fund budget. Scroll down a little bit more and you'll see that goals. I have this insurance sinking fund. So every month I'm recognizing $477 as my insurance expense, and I can allocate this to my insurance sinking fund budget. So next year, when my annual premiums is due, it doesn't skew my expenses for the month that much. So this is how I'm budgeting for the month of July. So if you have any feedback for me, let me know down in the comment section below. I will do a mid-month update probably in my Telegram community, which I've just started. If you've not joined, QR code over here. And also probably a reel on Instagram. I would love to document this. So that's all for today's video. Let me know what you think of my budget, and if there's any improvements that I can do, also let me know down in the comment section below. The actual expenses will be documented on my YouTube channel maybe early August. So stay tuned for that and have a great week ahead as usual. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye-bye.